Hello, I'm Luna Willard of 1DA3 and I'm going to explain my game Journey of Survival. This is a two-player game where players play against each other and survival conditions. First, I'm going to explain type of cards. You have condition cards. These cards you get four kinds of. You have food, water, health and on track. Each player gets 84 condition cards, 12 for every condition. In the beginning of the game, once a player has 0 cards of one condition, for example water is 0, then the game stops immediately and the other player wins. Then you have elements cards, water, fire, earth and wind. These will be used to play against each other, which will be later explained. Then you have coin cards. These cards will be earned by winning against the other player. With these coin cards you can buy condition cards. This will be also further explained. Last but not least, you have adventure cards. These cards each contain an adventure and the prize a player gets when he wins or has to give up when he loses. Later, setting up the game. Each player gets 12 cards of each condition. Also, each player gets 4 cards, each of one element, so water, fire, earth and wind. All the other element cards will be put on a stack, shaken and laid with their backs facing towards the players. These will be later used in the game. Then the coin cards and the adventure cards are laid together. Afterwards, how to play the game. A player takes a card from the adventure stack and reads it out loud, so both players can hear the prizes they win, lose and what kind of adventure they are in. Afterwards, there are 3 element cards put on the table. Players can now see which element is laying in front of them. What they now have to do is to lay their own elements cards facing backwards under one of the cards in the middle. Both players do this. The goal is to have the winning element against your opponent. For example, water beats fire, wind beats water, fire beats earth, and earth beats wind. After that, you turn the cards and both players can see which are the winning ones. After all this is seen, players can now decide who has the most wins out of 3. This player wins the round. If you have, for example, 2 the same cards against each other, you can look if the middle card has any effect of it. Most of the time, if you have the same card, you have a tie. If you have, for example, fire versus wind, then you look which card is in the middle. Here, for example, fire is in the middle, it gets doubled, so it wins. If you have all 3 the same, it's also a tie and undecided. Afterwards, the points are counted and the person who has the most wins is decided. Players can now see and receive their conditions. For example, I win now 3 coins. Herefore I can buy more conditions. A player can go over 12 conditions. Afterwards, before the new game starts, players can still buy and do all their stuff. Then a new round starts. And this is the end of the game.